Hello everyone and welcome back to StarBricks. Now this is a stormtrooper. Now he may seem pretty normal, but when he gets together with a whole bunch of stormtroopers, they can do a lot. But they still need somewhere and something they can transport them. And that's what this does. This is the Imperial Troop Transport. You can see it in Star Wars Rebels and it has many functions and features. Today we're going to be taking a really deep look into it, and maybe we can even build it in a later episode. So let's get right into it. Now this is my MOC. I made this a little bit ago, and you can actually see how I developed this in my video, which will be right up here, called 5 Tips to Improve Your LEGO Building. In that video I made this, but I decided to make an in-depth review and instruction video for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at exactly how to make it and exactly what kind of features this does have. It has a lot of features. Now, if we just get these minifigures out of the way, this is just a normal stormtrooper you've probably seen a million times. This is actually Tarkin. He is from the Star Wars Rebels A-Wing versus the TIE Advanced set. It's a pretty good set. It makes him look a little cartoony. But anyways, we can put him inside of the troop transport by opening this little flap. And yes, on the real troop transport, this flap does open as well. So he can walk up the ramp and he can stand in the command center of the troop transport. Although we can't really see anything right now, I do have a flap on the top that can be used to let a little bit of light in, or put in figures if you want. It can be opened from the top or the bottom. I'm going to open it from the bottom. Now that we have a little bit of light in there, we can stand him up, as he's supposed to be stood on the command post. And of course, all of this is accurate to Star Wars Rebels, which is where this ship was first seen. Actually, this is a legend ship that was adapted in Star Wars Rebels, and there are even some elements from the legend ship that are inside of here. Now if we look in there, you're going to see some control panels and a few seats for the pilots. Besides that, there's not much. There's a lot of different lights or translucent pieces. Here's the seat, there's a control panel in the middle, there's a little computer, and then that little round piece is where the commander is supposed to stand. That is the commander's seat, except he doesn't really have a seat, it's more of a stand-up position, just like in the real thing. Now as we close this up, you can see the windows going around the entire thing. Those little white stripes are actually stickers that I made. If you don't want to include those, it looks just fine without them. We also have this little stripe made out of plates, and we have 2 small turrets that can rotate around and go up and down as you desire. Moving on, we have the primary function, which is to store stormtroopers. These hatches open up, and you can place a stormtrooper with the arms extended into that compartment. And then once you put the flap back up, he's good to go. And that's that. You can put 3 on this side and 3 more on the other side. Now, we do have a few more cool functions on this half of the build. First, we have these little things that come off onto the side in order to streamline the vehicle. We have this 360-degree rotating turret that can go up and down about 90 degrees. And we also have a huge hatch in the back, which enables you to see inside. I did include an interior, even though that's hardly available on the real thing. I just added it for fun. Now when we look inside, we can see a little computer screen and a little control panel next to it. And then we can see control panels, grills, and all kinds of small details all across that side. On this other side, we can see an entire panel of levers for whatever that might be doing. I think it's to lower the outside hatches. And we also see another control panel. So that's what that stuff does. But there's also a few other things that this can do. If you see those two black tiles running the length, that's for something special that I'll show you later. But for now, let's just put a stormtrooper in. As you can see, he stands up on the studs that I left remaining. And now he can carry weapons for all the people outside. This enables you to carry about 20 stormtroopers, I think, if you line them up just right, in the front, the back, and the sides. And that's just what this transport is for. Now on this side, it looks very much the same. We can see the hatches are just the same, and pretty much everything is the same, except when you pull these two sides apart, you get two different sections of the troop transport. What I imagined here was, of course, none of this is canon, but the front section would detach from the back section, and it would go to the base to pick up another back section. This back section would act as a small base and cover for the stormtroopers which it carries, while this little transport would act as a command post, and it would pick up more transports. Now when we get out this little stormtrooper, you can see the scale of the back end a little bit more. Since this back end is used in battle, I think it needed to have a little bit of cover provided, not just the hatches. That's why I included these walls that kind of wrap around so that the entrance is as small as possible. And I think that it works well. Now, there is one more thing that this base can do, or the back end to this transport. And if we take all these guys out, we're going to see that. This is a little something extra that I threw in, and I think it is actually in the canon version. We have this speeder. This is a speeder from Star Wars Rebels. I made this, and it didn't take very long, but if you would like to see how to make this, I can surely make a video about that too. This has the stormtrooper from Star Wars Rebels on it, the training stormtrooper, and all we have to do is put it in there. It fits perfectly. The end pieces line up perfectly with the end pieces on the rear end of the troop transport, and the front pieces line up with the front piece. Close everything up, and you have yourself a speeder inside of basically another speeder. You can just pull it out when you're ready to fight. That's what I really imagined this base to be for, and when you're holding the speeder, you get about 6 stormtroopers inside. And that's that. That is the Imperial Troop Transport. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you leave a comment, a like, or a subscription. Soon the instructions for this will be coming out, and I'm very excited to provide you with new MOCs every single day. And remember that you can use this MOC as long as you give credit where credit is due. Until next time, this has been StarBricks.